I think Franklin Richards is going to save the Fantastic Four. This is the Sacred Rewatch. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Illuminati Takeover of the Sacred Rewatch, brought to you by Effortless Expeditions. If you don't know what that is, be sure to go check it out. I'm not going to go spend time talking about it. Today, I am joined by Andreas.
Yo.
Good to have him back. Brendan. We are finally joined by Brendan once again.
Ooh, let's go.
And our resident philosopher, Brody.
Hello, everyone.
How are you guys doing on this wonderful Saturday morning?
Fantastic. Happy to be here.
Wow.
Say that again.
Fantastic.
Andreas, you doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, bro.
All right, guys. We are, 5-6 days away from the release of the Fantastic Four.
That's crazy.
I have been so excited for the Fantastic Four. I'm sure Brendan's probably been more excited for the Fantastic Four because he had to live through the 2015 variation. But I can't contain my excitement any longer. We have to talk about it before it comes out. Like I said in previous episodes, we are having a live stream, immediate reaction coming out of the theater on Thursday night. So be sure to check it out. It's coming out at 10 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be going live, so be sure to tune in. Okay, before we get into the Fantastic Four preview, I've got to hit you guys with something real quick. We just crossed, 30 seconds ago, 6,000 subscribers.
Damn.
There we go.
Call it my little invisible surprise. Honestly, it's pretty fantastic. This thing's growing the way it is. And now with Marvel's first family making their return, feels like it's time to bring the heat. So buckle up, flame on, and let's get into it before the thing smashes through the comment section. All right, guys. Brendan, let's start with you. You've got a prediction. We're gonna go down the line. We're each gonna give our realistic prediction. We'll talk about it, and then we'll go to our absurd predictions. But Brendan, let's start with you.
Okay, realistic prediction.
Yes.
I think that Latveria is going to there's going to be some sort of merger that happens between the two Earths, and Latveria is going to end up where Sokovia was.
I like that one.
Because Sokovia is gone. And
so you're just assuming that Sokovia, they kept it as a pit?
I mean, what would happen to it, right?
That's such a good idea.
A meteor hit it. So I could see that being a completely just evacuated area. It's gone. Nobody cares about it anymore. And the void is filled by Von Doom in Latveria.
That'd be so sick.
Can you give some background, because I'm not super familiar with this whole Fantastic Four universe?
We know that Fantastic Four is going to be occurring in a different universe, right? Or that it does. And from what we saw in the Thunderbolts, then renamed New Avengers movie in the post credits, is that we know that the Fantastic Four ship just appears. So there's some sort of interdimensional travel going on there. And I don't know if I really buy that Von Doom would that Doctor Doom would just show up, just him. I think in the comics, part of like his muscle is that he has this whole country behind him. Like Latveria just exists, and he is Latveria. So I feel like they got to bring it in somehow, and if they bring it in, then we have it on Earth for future installments. And I don't know, Sokovia feels like the perfect spot to tie into Infinity Saga and kind of give it that little spin of continuity there.
I think Andreas is asking more about what Latveria means to us.
Oh, I see. I see. I mean, it's a fictional homeland of Doctor Doom. I feel like in
Eastern
DC
European, mountainous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Eastern European, super down on its luck, and this guy kind of comes up as its savior. He's the tech genius that kind of becomes like a god king within the country, and they would ride or die for him.
Doctor Doom does.
Yeah. He is their savior, and it kind of is it's kind of a similar vibe actually to Sokovia, how the people were protesting the Avengers in the streets, right? Like they had the murals of in Age of Ultron of like Iron Man having the guns and the money in his hand, like they're the ones like screw the Avengers, screw the Americans. Like Latveria kind of has that. Like they're haters of the Avengers, so it feels like the right spot to do it again. Because I mean, Sokovia also could just get renamed. That could happen too.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy comes from another dimension, shows up. These people are down on their luck, and he's like, "You're Latveria now."
That's a good prediction.
I really like this idea because, like you're saying, they already have like this angst against the Avengers in general. That I feel like that would just be the perfect spot, and because then, like you're saying, it just brings it to Earth, so you don't have to keep like hopping back between stuff. I think that would be cool.
I think this is genius, Brendan. Latveria's been teased us for a while. Since this is the Illuminati takeover, we can talk about it and jump forward a little bit. But I remember when Moon Knight came out. Remember when not Mark Spector. Oh man, what's the other personality?
Come on, guys.
Not Poe Dameron. Oh man. All right. Well, this sucks. But Moon Knight's other personality, he gets transported, and it looks like to a village or a small country that looks very reminiscent to the live action version of Latveria.
Jake Lockley?
No, the other one, the dumb English one.
Stephen Grant?
Yes, Stephen Grant. Thank you.
Grant.
That never got proven or disproven that wasn't Latveria. But I've been super excited for this. But Brendan, this is an excellent idea. Brody, let's move on to you.
Okay, so this is a pretty basic one. This is one that I'm kind of hoping for. I think it's pretty plausible. I think we'll see Galactus, his spaceship. I think we'll see it in some form. Just similar to how Thanos had his introduction where he like shows up and he's on Thor's ship. You know what I mean? When you get to Infinity War. I think that he kind of needs a ship for his starting scenes at least. Or anything like that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It has a really cool design from the comics.
I'm not very familiar with the comic book design of Galactus' ship. How does that work? He's massive.
Yeah,
but he can change his size. He can change his size at all. You know what I mean?
Well, I saw he's walking down the streets of New York in some of those early trailers.
Yeah,
which
he can.
The trailers we can talk about at the end because I've got a little bit of a rant, but I'd be super interested to see that. I feel like this movie opens up the doors to a lot of things that I didn't really think were possible. I think this is a great introduction for the Fantastic Four because I don't know how it would work in the 616 universe of the MCU.
Yeah,
even though it's not the 616, because it just feels like there would have to be some cop out, and it's kind of the same question I have about the X-Men. Like how are you going to introduce that? You're going to say that they were always there? That seems like a cheap cop out. So I like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like,
oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say it's like a weird design. Like it's pretty much like those like cubes where their corners aren't actually connected, but like it's a perspective thing. Where it looks like it's connecting. Like, it's kind of like that. Like, it's, like, weird. Like, it's, like, this weird... You see how it's, like, a looping shape? It's kind of blurred because my background blurs. But it's, like, a loop. Can you, like, vaguely see it?
It seems kind of reminiscent of, like, what they based Galactus' design in the 2015 Fantastic Four, no?
I haven't seen that movie yet. I haven't watched the old ones yet.
Brendan, have you seen that movie? You've seen it.
I have, yeah.
With Miles Teller and Michael B.
Yeah,
Jordan.
but wait a minute. He doesn't go... the one that sticks in my head the most is 05 or 08 when he's a cloud.
No, that was 15.
I see. I just looked it up. Yeah, I've seen that one a couple times. I see. And he's like a flaming head, almost like a silhouette.
Do they even show a silhouette of a face? It's just like he's a cloud.
Well, no, in 05 he's a cloud. Or 08. So that's in the original ones with like Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
And Chris Evans. He's a cloud in that. Yeah, just a big old cloud. There's no face, there's no silhouette. It's just a big old cloud. No personality. So I mean, they go real 180 here, and I'm a huge fan. I think it's gonna pay out for them, making him a big goofy like man with just kind of almost. I feel like it's gonna be like Ghostbusters, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man just
yeah,
walking
That'd
through
be
the
so
streets.
sick. Dude, I never even
Yeah,
thought
that's
about that
08 where
comparison.
he's a cloud.
Dude, you're so right. I don't know how I never got Ghostbusters vibes from this movie. But with how they're doing like promotional and the city loves them, this is totally just a Ghostbusters movie. Because so far on my
I'm here
like
for it.
mood board for this movie it's pretty much just been like in my head. This is if Sam Raimi directed the live action version of The Incredibles. Like, it's pretty much how these trailers have been feeling. Is it's just like if the old Spider-Man movies were about The Incredibles.
I like it too. I love the aesthetic of it. It's so
I
good.
know, but
Isn't
now
The
that you're saying
Incredibles
that-
kind of based off of the Fantastic Four?
It is. Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Because even at the beginning of The Incredibles, like when they're first starting out, they're wearing blue suits as well. Power
Yeah,
sets
they're
are
different suits.
kind of the same.
Yep. You got the strong dude, the person that turns invisible. The only difference is they added a speedster. Dash is like the Flash, obviously.
Yeah.
Stop. Sidebar though, you guys got to watch. There's so many good video essays on YouTube about the Incredibles, and like they're saying that the powers are supposed to be more symbolic. Like they make the powers fit the people better in those ones
Yeah.
where like the mom is super stretchy because she has to be catch all the different things at once, and she has to be flexible for the family. The kid has too much energy and like can't be contained. And then the daughter is like the emo one that just wants to be left alone, so she goes invisible. And then like
Right.
the dad
Hey,
is the strong
Brian.
man of the family. Yeah.
That's crazy
Sorry.
that you're talking about this because that is part of my prediction is like the Incredibles. So Brian, can I say mine?
Yes.
So this is my prediction. It's pretty far-fetched, but also I'm not like super familiar with this franchise, but I know that Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman are together now, and they have a baby on the way from the trailer. So that's my prediction is the baby is gonna have superpowers like Jack Jack and Jack Jack from The Incredibles, and he's gonna lead. Okay, wait. Actually, I won't get too into it because
Andreas could have written the comics.
well, should I? I'm just gonna combine this into both predictions
Go for it.
and expand on the
It's like a
far-fetched
snake
one.
draft. Yep. Do it.
Yeah. So, Jack. So, Brent, we saw your comments about the director saying Reed Richard will be leading the charge for the Avengers. That's a lie. It's gonna be the baby. It's gonna be
be
Reed
Franklin?
Richards. It's gonna be Reed Richards and Invisible Woman's baby, the Jack of the Fantastic Four, leading the charge against Mr. Doom, Doctor Doom.
Mr. Doom.
I think that's such a good prediction. That's exactly what happens in the comics.
Is it really?
It is. Yeah.
But it's
And he
good.
doesn't
You're not
lead-
informed in the
I guess it's not
comics.
far-fetched.
It's cracked. Franklin is OP, and I think they in the trailer they show that too, right? Like Galactus is like, "I will spare the Earth if you just give me this kid."
Yeah, and I think that's kind of going to be the plot point of Doomsday a little bit. I think
Probably.
Franklin's going to be
The kid's going to be
almost
the MacGuffin.
Yeah, he was going to be the MacGuffin.
So
So
I'd love to hear yours.
I can't even remember what my simple prediction was. I got too excited. Let me talk about my crazy one since we're doing a snake draft now. I think Franklin Richards is going to save the Fantastic Four. That's what I led off the episode with. I think Franklin Richards, we may not see any of his powers the whole movie, and at the very last second, Franklin Richards is going to do something ridiculous and save them all as a 2-year-old, right? And then that's at the end of the movie, you're going to realize, there's something very special about this child because, Brendan, tell me if I'm wrong, but in the comics, doesn't Franklin and Reed Richards combined like save the multiverse in one of the
In which run?
Maybe not even in the 2015 Secret Wars run. But there is a rendition that I think they like come together and they like use their brains to save the entire multiverse. I think that's kind of what they're leaning towards with this whole saga.
I mean,
I do.
Lil Bro can make like pocket universes.
Yeah, I think
Like
that's
it's crazy.
that's what's going to happen, and I think,
Right.
and this can be a good talking point too. I think it's a little unfortunate the timing of the Fantastic Four. I would have loved for this movie to come out, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, if the MCU was going perfect, but it obviously didn't. So
what would you do with the gap? Then you would just be waiting for the Fantastic Four to show up again.
I don't think
Or
so
like
necessarily.
why did you want it to be early or earlier?
Because it just feels too rushed. Not rushed.
yeah.
Not rushed. Let me change what I said about that. It feels like having the Fantastic Four go right into Doomsday. It seems like the rest of the MCU doesn't mean as much, right? All you need to do is watch this movie beforehand, and you'll know everything going into Doomsday.
I could see that.
Where what I love about the MCU, what we all love about the MCU, the reason we're here for this podcast is the integration, right? Seeing all the stories come together. And this just feels like this is the prequel to Doomsday.
I agree. I wish they worked in more of like a build up through like phase 4 and like kind of had some buy-in from the audience to like to lead up to this instead of it just kind of feels a little rushed.
Yeah,
It's
but with
just
Jonathan
been-
Majors, how are they gonna? They got derailed. I don't know. I
True.
think this is their best hand.
So maybe this kind of question I have that just popped up. Theoretically, Jonathan Majors still Kang, right? We don't know. We don't think Doom's going to be the major player for the Avengers movies. What do you think this movie was going to be about? Do you think it was still going to be about Galactus? I mean, we have no confirmation that Robert Downey Jr. is in this movie, right? I have inklings that he's going to be either in a post-credit scene or at the very end. Do you think this movie would be as important if Jonathan Majors was still playing Kang?
I think this movie was made with the Avengers that we're getting kind of in mind. But I think no matter what, they would have just made it work. Because this movie is separate for the most part from what we know. Yeah,
Wait, so your question is if we were still going to watch King Dynasty, would this movie have as much importance?
Yes.
I think this movie would have operated as what Guardians 1 was to Infinity War, where it's kind of critical because you get an insight maybe on a key character relationship like Gamora Thanos, and you would have gotten new locations that we would have gone to. But that crew would never have met the Avengers until Kang Dynasty, just like the Guardians didn't meet anyone.
Yeah.
Well, I think what's super fascinating about that too is that the original director of this, Brendan and Brody, you guys might know this, but the original director of this was the director of the first 3 Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland, John Watts.
Oh, yeah. Skeleton Crew.
So, did he direct Skeleton Crew?
He was the showrunner for it.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Yep.
So, I mean, and even just the logo and kind of the vibes that I got off was that if John Watts directed this, it probably wouldn't have been, the separate universe in the 60s. It probably would have been integrated in the MCU.
That was the original plan from what I've heard.
Because
It was supposed to be younger, too. It wasn't going to be an older cast. It was going to be a younger group of Fantastic Four.
So, here's another question I have for you guys. Do we think, because I think it's pretty much confirmed that when this movie starts, there are really going to be the Fantastic Four, the front-facing Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I think
you
that
think
interview
we're
scene
gonna
is going to be the first one. Or
Do you
one
think
of the
we're
first.
going to see a scene of them getting their powers, or they're going to go the Spider-Man route again? We're not going to see it.
Dude, I mean, look at just Superman. I don't think that's a thing anymore. Origins are kind of out.
We're going
They
to
didn't
get
do it in
it, but it's
Superman.
going to be on the TV. It's going to be in that first interview where they're on the stage.
Yeah.
because they showed like it was like one of the first trailers was like them like all suited up, like their first trip or whatever. So I
Yeah.
think it's just gonna be in the beginning video, and then they're gonna go like the Fantastic Four, and then they're all on stage, and then they're gonna have their watches go off just like in the trailer, and then
I mean,
that'll
if
be your
they-
first little fight scene.
I feel like it's hard for them to show them getting their powers unless they do some, because they would have to squeeze so much into the movie. Unless they did something like in the Incredible Hulk with that montage in the beginning, but
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Mm.
So.
I love
But
the
and-
Incredible Hulk. Shout out.
Austin's favorite movie.
Yeah.
There's too many lines in the trailer too. They could just be added into the trailer, but where they're talking about how they got their powers, for it to be like a critical part. Like I feel like they have the intro scene of their mission and stuff. Because in the trailer they're like, oh, nothing's changed since that incident that happened that changed our lives where we, all got powers. Like they're referencing them getting their powers tons in the trailers with their words. So I feel like they're just going to have like the short scene and then reinforce it with like them being like, oh, life's been different for me since that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's
You
how
know
it's
what?
going to go.
I think the origin thing is it's losing its utility and it's going out the window. It's probably a good thing because I think if you go back to the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like making a superhero film, a lot of people didn't really know who these characters were. So like you have to explain to them, you have to walk them through like why they would exist, right? Like you gotta like make it feel realistic. And then that takes up the first third of your movie. But now that superhero movies are like the top 10 grossing films of all time, sort of, um, everyone just understands that superheroes exist now as an audience, and so they're just like, here's a superhero, and like you don't have to do that wind up to like get introed for 35 minutes of a movie. They're just like, here it is, and like as an audience, we're conditioned now that we just receive it and we're off to the races. We're good.
So,
Yeah.
Mike, my devil's advocate to that, Spider-Man, right? When we got Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man, there were already successful versions of Spider-Man movies. People adore the Tobey Maguire movies. People adore, to an extent, the Andrew Garfield movies, right? So they understand, Uncle Ben. They understand the spider bite. Superman. Is it Matt Reeves? No, that's his son.
Henry Cavill was the last
no.
one. Is it
Yeah,
Snyder?
Henry Cavill, but
So
Zack Snyder?
yeah, but the one from the 70s, Reeve.
Christopher
Oh,
Reeve.
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeve, right? That was even a successful version, like Brennan was talking about, early version. So people understand those. I feel like those are probably the most widely known superheroes of all time is Superman
And
and
Batman.
Spider-Man. And Batman.
Yeah, Batman. I agree.
And that's kind of what they did with Robert Pattinson. They didn't really show he was already Batman when this movie started.
right.
Yep.
My devil's advocate to this, I like the Fantastic Four movie that came out in 2005, but it's not widely loved. And the 2015 version did terrible, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think there's as much of a understanding of who the Fantastic Four is from their inception. Especially, Victor Von Doom. Like they have to explain that because I think that's going to be, even if you do understand Marvel, you're going to have a lot of questions about Victor Von Doom in this universe, how that crosses over to the MCU. So I don't know.
I just don't think there's the runtime to show them getting their powers more than just the TV thing, because they've said like they've cut down the movie because they're really confident in this cut. They've screen tested it more than any recent Marvel movie because they know that this is their big leap towards the next movies.
Yeah,
So they've been like getting the comedy right, doing all that. So I think, and because these characters, who they were before kind of matters. You know what I mean? Like Mr. Fantastic being a professor, that kind of matters, but it's not like critical. Like they kind of are who they are with their abilities. It's not the same as like Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like it is just kind of an incident. Like it's not. I don't think it's as transformative of like a character arc. It's more they just kind of get in a situation and have to learn to adapt and, you know what I mean, do their best with it.
Mm-hmm.
But
All
I
right.
don't know.
But
We'll see.
before I keep asking questions, Brody, what's your unlikely prediction?
So I had to go through a list because pretty much everything seemed plausible. Like I was like, oh, you know what I mean, Robert Downey Jr. could show up. Everyone's thinking that, you know what I mean? So that's not a reach. I thought maybe other superheroes, because that's also my biggest question. Is like we have this alternate reality. Is it special that there's only these four? You know what I mean? Because that would make sense to me. Because the whole town looks up to them. If they're the only superheroes, that makes a lot of sense. Or they could be like, here's an old animated Spider-Man looking Spider-Man or something.
Yeah, how
You know what
sick
I
would
mean?
that be? We get the bombastic Bagman. How
Right?
sick would
Well,
that be?
a reference in some sort or something. But I just don't know, because then I feel like if this world's full of supers, you wouldn't understand why this city cares about the Fantastic Four so much. I feel like it's very critical to this place that we're going. That's just the Fantastic Four, and that's kind of their only hope.
Great.
But the poll that I put was someone from the comics, who I'm not a big comics guy, but I did a little bit of research, some digging. And Annihilus. I feel like if they referenced or had Annihilus in like some way, because he's a comic book character that shows up and faces the Guardians of the Galaxy sometimes, I guess. And we know Star-Lord's going to be returning, so he could end up being a villain for Star-Lord down the line. Or whoever the Guardians of the Galaxy are at this moment, like Rocket and Groot and their team that they kind of kit bashed at the end of the last one.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And he's got a cool
Brendan,
design. I want to see how they adapt it.
Brendan, do you have any thoughts on Annihilus?
I mean, the world's their oyster. I actually think I'm a little I'm with you on them not having people there because they need to make the Fantastic Four the focus of that world. But I also think for the next movie, they have to be super lean with what's on that world because whatever's there is going to get transported in, and we can't move tons of stuff in. And I wonder if to keep Doomsday lean, they may just keep it Doom, Fantastic Four, maybe Galactus. But that's also your crazy take, so like I can't discount you for that. Like that's your. It would be cool. It would be cool.
All right, Brendan.
They pull
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Let's hear yours.
Mine, I was thinking about like a bridge character, like who's gonna be the one that kind of brings them over. And I think it could be one of three things. I would love to see them do something with What If and like have either Strange Supreme, like the dark twisted one, be there when they cross over. Or probably something more feasible would just be the Watcher. Like seeing them cross universes and you see a Watcher like just turn his head as they're crossing over and be like, oh, here we go. And then I would also, my third one as a bridge character, I'd love to see Loki pop up in some form or fashion.
Oh my God.
Whoa. Wait, guys, I haven't seen the end of Loki 2.
That would not be
I'll
good
spoil that.
for the movie theater if Loki popped up. I might
Why?
have a visceral reaction.
So yeah, just bridge character. I don't think it's probably not going to happen. They'll probably just cross universes, but I'd love to see the bridge, the handoff, be done by someone that we know.
I may have to get a new pair of shorts if Loki pops up.
All right, so if there's like a Watcher, like why would that be like super like crazy though?
It wouldn't be, but it would be a nice nod to What If, I think. It would be a sweet, like, you'd be like, okay, this does operate in the same universe as everything else.
Well, and
Or
they've
the same-
heavily been alluding that the actor that plays the Watcher in What If, like he's been making more and more appearances. He popped up in Thor:
The
Love and
Groot.
Thunder.
In Groot seasons,
Yes, he
I'm
was
Groot.
there in Groot. I want to say he was in the Marvels as well. So they've been heavily pushing that he's going to not play a bigger part, but he's going to be popping up in more projects. All right, guys. I've got one last question for us to think about before we wrap this up. This has been my biggest concern since the casting got announced.
Wait, Bron, sorry, wait, isn't the Watcher also in Guardians 2? When they're all
Yes.
jumping?
Yes. He's the
With
Stan
Stan
Lee
Lee?
cameo.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to throw that out there.
Pedro Pascal. Is he going to be a good Reed Richards? Yes or no? And if you have a certain feeling about it, please express why. I'm going to start. I love Pedro Pascal, but I also agree with the sentiment that the agenda of Pedro Pascal being in every project that's humanly been made is a little too much, and I just don't think he's going to fit the vibe of Reed Richards. I don't think John Krasinski should have, played his version of it, but I don't see Pedro Pascal's version of Reed Richards working for me.
Can I ask what like the character type of Reed Richards is?
Scatterbrained, super narcissistic. Kind of like, I'd say he's kind of like Tony, but just way less cool.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to it, similar to Tony, stoic when things need to happen,
Like nerdy scientist.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Tony's the playboy and he's the actual this is gonna work.
Yeah.
Which is good. Like it's a sweet vibe. But yeah, I don't know if Pedro Pascal can play that.
I also feel this way about Joseph Quinn too a little bit. He was kind of an oddball pull for me.
Yeah.
Dude, they're both from Gladiator 2. I
Yeah.
don't know why. But,
Also,
I don't know. Like, I feel like Pedro, every time I see a trailer, I go, why did they cast him? He feels so out of place. But once I'm in a movie, he wins me over. And I don't know. I think once I'm in the movie, I'll get used to it pretty quick.
I think Joseph Quinn has a better shot of pulling it off.
Completely agree.
Because he really, like, I could see him being little brother. Him playing the little brother super well. I'm rooting for him.
You see that in the trailer too, how he's like jumping up to hug him and stuff. I think he'll be great.
I think what bugs me about Pedro Pascal, because I was already hesitant, and Marvel's push, as of always the last couple years, them showing too much in the trailers. When the press asks Reed Richards, what are you guys going to do about Galactus? And he says, I don't know. Are you kidding me? You're Reed Richards. You're supposed to know.
Well, they say, are we going to be okay or something? It's something like...
And his
like that
answer is,
about
I
this.
don't know?
Well, because you have to think, like, he's talking about his kid. Like, that's what's on the line. So he's trying to find a workaround.
So Reed Richards is going to genocide his entire universe for his child.
Okay, let's calm down. No one said that.
That's what's on the table.
If I had to guess...
Either one or the other, his kid or the planet?
I think that's what's going to be on the table.
If I had to guess the plot of this, or the lineup of this story, just before it comes out, just real quick. So beginning intro is them on the interview getting their powers, their first fight. And that person got leaked who that's going to be, so I'm not going to say that just for spoiler reasons. But you get your first fight, and then they find out that they're having the kid. And then you get the time jump, and Galactus shows up, and he wants the kid. And I think at some point, Galactus is going to get the kid. I think at some point after them being like, oh, I don't know, we don't want to give up our kid, I feel like he's going to get it somehow. I feel like maybe Silver Surfer is going to come down and take the kid. You know what I mean? Which will result in the team being split. You mean they'll be split at some point, and they'll have to come back together. And that's why, like, the Thing has the beard in the trailer. I think it's been some time since they've been the Fantastic Four. So then I feel like they'll go on a rescue mission for the kid.
Interesting.
And then that'll somehow end up destroying the world. Because I feel like Silver Surfer is the person that could, like, steal... I mean, literally in the trailer, she's acting like an angel. Like, if anyone's going to be, like, moving the kid from place to place, it's gonna be her character. So
Wait,
that's my philosopher prediction.
Mm.
So
You know what I mean?
why would the kid separate the Fantastic Four?
Because I think they'll lose the kid somehow and not know how to get him back.
Oh, and
So then the
someone-
team just won't. They'll have failed pretty much themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they won't have any power over Galactus to hold him back. You know what I mean? That's just kind of. I think there's gonna be time jumps because of that beard shot in the trailer, and because obviously there's gonna have to be a time jump between this and Avengers if we're gonna get that kid grown up. You know what I mean? To some degree.
Do you think he'll be grown up? And in Doomsday?
I think maybe. Well, I don't know because the rest of them can't really age up, but they would have to do some kind of like, oh, you know what I mean, just on the way over. You know what I mean?
Do we know what year this is taking place?
The 60s.
Oh,
But
damn.
in this universe.
Yeah. But in the early concept art, when I want to say Variety posted this article that Marvel had just released its first concept art, and they're all like hanging out in the living room, and in the back there was a Time magazine like cover, and somebody like calculated it to be like in our unit, like in real world, similar year of when Nixon resigned because of Watergate. So that time frame of the 60s.
Yeah.
Okay, which would be like Howard Stark being alive, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it'll correlate with the timeline of the current MCU.
Yeah, a little time
If I had
jump.
to guess. Like, I don't think they're going to be like 40 years older in the next one. Yeah, man. I think they're going. Whatever time is the 60s and their time is different from ours.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I'm going to go down the line. You've got 4 options. Is Fantastic Four going to be bad, okay, good, or great? Brendan, we'll start with you.
Great. It's gonna be great. To me, they also get such a boost from not having to explain anything from any other universe. They don't gotta be like, oh, where's the big Eternal or not the Eternal? Where's the big Celestial that's in the Antarctic? They get a fresh restart. I think, like Brody said, they've done more test screenings with this than anything else. I think they know it's on the line. They're gonna crush it. They're gonna pull one out of the bag for this.
Brody?
I agree. I think it's gonna be 4 out of 4, just because all the competition's pretty much out of the way right now. F1 came out, Jurassic World came out, Superman's been out. I feel like they're gonna have a little bit of overlap with Superman, but other than that, it's just making people more excited for superheroes. So I think it's gonna get pretty decent numbers. I think it's the first movie that people are gonna really latch onto going into the next movie. So
Well,
I think it'll do good.
I noticed, Brody, you always think of the competition of other movies in theaters, and I don't really think
I
about
do.
that too much.
I do because I'm traumatized from Solo. Solo
Infinity
came
War?
out 4 months after the last Star Wars movie at that time. So people had Star Wars fatigue because they were used to getting it every year. And it was at the same time as Infinity War coming out. So I think it's like within a week or within 2 weeks or something. So
Yeah, they got mogged.
it stood no chance. And it was just the timing that the movie got done. It just wasn't the best. And then I didn't get my Solo trilogy. So I'm a little bummed about that and traumatized.
Hey, you got him back in Ironheart. All
That's
right
right.
in the world now.
That's right. I'll take it.
Brody,
Andreas?
we also did get in like Spider-Man Far From Home 2 months after Endgame, and that one made 1 point something billion.
Exactly. The timing is really important for these.
Oh, I see. You're saying that was a boost, that it came off the back of Endgame.
It really depends. I think it's
I
not
think that was
good
a
for them
different
to be
time,
that
though.
close.
That was pre-COVID.
So Solo.
Yeah, Solo was 2018, I think. It was right after The Last Jedi came out. So like 2018, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it was 2019.
Yeah.
Andreas?
You know, my gut is telling me to go with the train with the Wendy's 4 for 4, but I think I'm gonna go a step down and hit the 3 out of 4. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. And to answer your question earlier, Braun, I think Pedro Pascal is gonna do a good job, and I think that's gonna be a big reason why the movie does well.
I'm intrigued. I'm gonna go with Andreas on this one. I think it's good. I just have too many questions about this universe and how it's going to intertwine with Doomsday. And my piece of advice, guys, soak this premiere in, guys, because it's gonna be a little under 18 months before we get our next Marvel movie drop. In the
Will
movie
there
theater.
be any TV shows or something?
There'll be TV shows, but I think Spider-Man's probably going to get delayed because right now it's set probably about a year from now. But I don't see them keeping that because they're still shooting. Are they still shooting the Odyssey? I think so.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Probably.
And I think they're supposed to start filming in like 2 weeks. I just don't see that happening.
And because I think that story does take place after Doomsday.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
yeah, I will say one more thing about Pedro Pascal, just because you brought it up, Andres.
Mhm.
I think the part where he'll really sell it is I think we'll buy him as the father of the kid. Like in him caring about that. Even if he's not a perfect scientist Reed Richards to you, I think the family dynamic is where he'll win us over. Because obviously we've seen that in Mando. He's got a magic kid in that show. You know what I mean? And then Last of Us, obviously the parental figure kind of thing that he's got going. I think that's why he's being brought in. And because with Tony Stark out of the way, we need someone with competitive facial hair. So that's why they got to bring him in.
Yeah.
That's the leader facial hair.
That is. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Illuminati Takeover of the Sacred Rewatch. We hope you enjoyed jumping all over the timeline with us. Be sure to check out our live stream, guys. It's our very first one. I'm super excited for it. We're going to get some really raw reactions, and I hope me and Andreas are wrong. I hope this is the greatest MCU movie that's ever been released, but I have my reservations.
Wendy's
But
4
be
for
sure
4.
then we can go 4 for 4. New recap episodes are coming out every week leading up to Avengers Doomsday. This is the perfect time to join in on the Sacred Rewatch, guys. There's plenty of time. If you don't want to watch all the movies, just come on here. Come on here, watch, save yourself 13 hours of watching a Netflix show and just tune in for an hour and a half. I think that's more than efficient. Wherever you are in the multiverse, thanks for making the Sacred Rewatch part of your journey. See you guys.